everybody. Billy O.
Morning, David.
Good morning, Jean. How are you?
Good. Bill is on his way. He's running just a couple of minutes late.
Oh, okay. That's what I was
All right.
checking. Thank you. Did you have a good
You're so
time?
welcome. Thank you for checking. He should be there about 5 minutes.
Okay. Did you have a good time?
Oh God, it was wonderful, but it's so hard to come home.
Oh,
There's no responsibilities. I mean, the only responsibility is to kind of straighten out the bed, take a shower now and then, and feed yourself.
right.
And the rest of the time is spent sleeping, walking, and reading.
Oh.
And now I have to catch catch up with reality. It's like it was like a tsunami waiting at home. The things that need to be done.
Of course there are.
Oh, I know that's the price we have to pay. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty well now.
Good.
I'm
That's the start.
I'm still recovering from a number of things.
What about our small group? When do we meet?
We're meeting next Monday at 11:30.
Okay, so it's going to be Monday at 11:30. That's the 14th.
Yeah.
Okay, I will see you then, and Bill will see you soon.
Great.
All righty.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Here you are on my lap. And I'm going to move, honey. I'm going to move. You can come to another lap. Oh, wait a minute. Mr. O, I presume.
Anybody home?
I'm always home.
Oh, yes, this is your home.
Hi, Bill.
How are you?
Well, I'm getting better.
Good. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah, we have 2 new kitties.
Ooh.
That's Smokey, the male. He has a sister named Mango who
How you doing?
has a really, oh, they're very friendly. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
We really lucked out with these 2. They're really terrific cats.
Boy, I'll tell you, it makes a difference.
It does.
It really does.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're a pretty one, too.
So I just talked to Jean, so I kind of know that you had a good time up there.
Yes.
That's good.
Oh, David, you know, we are getting older.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. We did practically nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, we managed to stay alive. We did walk.
Mhm.
I did do some Tai Chi.
Ah,
I
good.
did. We walked every day. We cooked. We what else did
You read?
we read, and I puzzled.
Uh-huh.
Did I puzzled. I did 4 or 5.
Oh, wow.
And it was good. It was just right.
Great.
And we managed to realize that it was just right. You know, that it wasn't because we were lazy. It was because we were older.
So, I don't know how much you know about what has gone on with me in the past 5 weeks.
None.
I, at one point, kicked myself into pretty painful sciatica, which it took me really a month to get out of. Oops. 2 weeks to get out of the worst pain, and a month to get rid of it. And then, because I needed something else to do, one day my blood pressure plummeted down to 75/35.
Yes, a record.
So I went to Middlesex Emergency.
Yes.
And they thought I needed an immediate pacemaker.
Oh,
So they sent me to Hartford Emergency, which was the most horrible 24 hours I have ever had in a hospital. And I'm not going back.
I hear you. Yeah, the emergency.
I really felt bad for the people who worked there because they were overwhelmed with patients. They had beds lining all the halls. There were crazy people yelling all night long, police bringing people in and strapping them down to beds.
Just like in the movies.
Just like in the movies. And after 24 hours of no food or drink and being studied by their cardiology department, they decided that I did not need a pacemaker, that I needed to reduce my blood pressure meds, which I immediately did on my own to half, and then went to my doctor. Actually, I couldn't see my doctor. I saw him on his PA, who's quite good. And they reduced it another quarter. So I'm only taking a quarter of what I used to take in blood meds.
Yep.
And I'm doing pretty well. It's still running a little low now and then. But I've pretty much recovered from that. I think I'm still, they're going to do some more testing, and I'm seeing my electrophysiologist a week from Wednesday about a pacemaker. I presume that's probably in my future sometime, sooner or later. My main thing is that I'm still trying to get my strength back from the sciatica. I couldn't practice or do anything at all for a couple of weeks, and I did very little practice for 4 weeks, which I have never done before. So I'm better. I'm slowly progressing, but it's if I have to sit down and rest, I will sit down and rest.
Good.
There, that's my story.
You know, is it your irregular heartbeat that needs a pacemaker?
Well, I presume I could stop the medication that maintains my sinus rhythm if I had a pacemaker.
Yes, yeah.
And
You know, I have a pacemaker defibrillator,
yeah,
and you know, I've gotten to the point where I don't even know what the hell it does.
yeah.
I know I'm paced, and I should be at 75 beats a minute.
75.
Yeah,
Wow.
is that high?
Well, for me, that would be high.
Yeah.
I normally have been in the 50s and sometimes 40s.
Wow, that's good.
I'm still in the 50s most of the time now. My heart rate.
Yeah, see, I don't know. And Fortunately, I've never had a jolt.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, Dave said it's pretty startling.
well, I was after I got this. I don't even remember when I got it. Now, I mean, there's so many things that go
Yeah.
on that you kind of lose track exactly what does what.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And because I think you're in the same boat I'm in. I'm very worried about my left leg.
Hmm.
Okay, and I had the blood pooling,
Hmm.
and so I normally strap my leg up. Now today I just have a compression sock on.
Mm-hmm.
Now these are the $100 a pair of compression socks, so
What?
they're really tight. But I wear them, and my leg just keeps swelling. So what
Wow.
I have to wrap my leg with Velcro real tight. There's a piece that goes over my foot, around my ankle, and then all the way up my leg. So I'm wrapped from here down to my toe.
Wow.
So, I have to do that every day. At first, I didn't do it every day, and it was pretty good. I did compression sock and that. But now I find I have to do it every day, but I can't get these shoes on when I have to wrap it. So I just have a compression sock on. So when I get home, I'll take it
Wrap.
off and wrap my leg. But what I'm getting at is that I pay attention to my body.
Oh yeah.
And what I've learned is if you go to a heart doctor, he doesn't know anything about your leg, about the blood pooling.
He doesn't?
No matter how
Mine
many
did. I thought
times.
mine did.
Did he? Yeah. I could, finally, I got an appointment with a specialist for that, and she got me to physical therapy and et cetera, et cetera. But I think I'm ready for the next step, and apparently she's not the one. It's not my circulation. It's, I don't know, or it's not the nerve ending. I don't know. But I'm ready for the next step, and I'm going to have to push to get there. You have to pay attention to yourself.
Yes, you do.
And hope you got the right doctor.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We have too many doctors as it is.
We do. Yes.
No question about it.
Oh, young man, is this your chair? Huh?
He can move.
Yeah.
He says, I want to see what's going on down here.
I think he has you as a favorite.
So, did you have a chance to look at the last video?
Yes, and I wasn't going to complain.
Go ahead, complain.
Every single thing you guys did, you had your back to the camera.
Yep.
I couldn't see what you were doing.
Yeah. Well, that's why I figured we would work on that today.
Yes.
Come on, Moki, you gotta move.
Okay.
But.
Oh boy, it's so nice. Yes.
Well, let me sound the beginning. And
Okay.
So I realized that related to the Eight Gates training of Master Joe was his whole emphasis on Chansa-jin, which in his training is how ultimately you reach the ability to spiral the energy in your body, which is really what you ultimately want to do. Actually, it's already spiraling, but it's like all the work with the energy, becoming able to feel it first and then to direct it. So you may not reach that particular ability, and that's okay, but how many, I was thinking that I had never really explored all the possibilities of Master Joe's Chansa-jin training. I quickly went through and I figured out that there were at least probably 35 variations. So it's a huge possibility. There are some basic ones. And so I was going to really just start with looking at 3 basic ones, and then, if we're interested, we can look at variations on those. But that's where I'm coming from, because if you fully get the Chansa-jin training, that feeds directly into what we're trying to do in the 8 Gates. I mean, they're like this, really. They each contribute to the other. So the first stage that I did, well, we do the first stage already. The basic dynamic sphere standing, beginning with your starting point at the bottom, as these diagrams are at the moment, that's one. I'm waiting for a call from my doctor, so let me just. No, that's not.
You sure?
Yeah. Norwalk. No, that's not my doctor.
Okay, well.
So what we did in the last class was look at the first variation from the basic dynamic sphere, because it isn't necessarily easy at first, but it is, you really know what you're doing with the basic dynamic sphere. So using all the same principles, what we do is we look at each of these diagrams, and we know that they go in a certain way. So we do the easy ones. We're not going to do the diagonals, but we're going to do the going to the making the starting point here for the first one, and then next time they'll be here, and then around to there. So you're doing exactly the same thing that you have done with here. So one of the things to remember is all the way through is, what's the basic pattern? Halfway around, through the S curve, one complete circle. So I know you know that and are pretty competent with that. The other thing to remember is that from beginning to the middle, the little finger edge is leading, and from the middle on, the thumb edge is leading. So those, and you're working with the basic principle that you want your palm to face as much as possible to the middle of the diagram. Those are all the basic things. So when we do the first one, we have a transition to the starting point, and then we have halfway around through the S curve and circle the ball. So there's the end of the pattern, but you'll have a transition back to here to start on the other side. Question?
Well, yeah, do that one again. You're starting from here, but it's when you get here, that's
So
the
so
start.
you have a transition to here. That's the starting point.
That's the starting point.
And then the pattern is just the same. Halfway around, through the S curve, circle the ball, all the way back to your starting point,
right here.
and
Yeah.
then transition.
Okay.
And this pattern begins at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So halfway around, through the S, circle the ball.
So you're starting.
And that ends here, and you transition back to.
Okay.
So that was pretty easy.
Yep.
The other two have a couple of tricky moves.
Okay.
You want to try this one?
Yeah.
So I'll do it with my left arm, so I'm mirroring what you're doing.
Okay.
That's not good for you?
I don't know. But we can try it.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
If it's not good for you, then I won't do it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So we're going to sink down, come to that beginning point. And here's the starting point of your pattern. Go all the way around to here, and through the S, and circle the ball. And that's the end of the pattern, and then you're going to transition to the next starting point. And halfway around, through the S, circle the ball, done, and transition.
Yep.
So you have a question about that one?
No.
Try it once on your own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I do it right?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
pretty much. So the tricky part of this is recognizing the fullness of yin and yang.
Okay.
So the transition is pretty much just maintaining where you are. It should have a slight growth, but In other words, what I'm saying is that when you get to here, that's yin. You're bent. And here is the fullness of yang, halfway around. And then you're going through the S curve to yin, and then you're going to the fullness of yang, and back to yin, and transition.
Okay, now. When I am just doing the first normal one that
Mm-hmm.
we've always done, when I'm here, I'm back on my heels. When I come up, I'm toward my toes. And then sort of in between, and I'm back on my heels, and I'm towards my toes, and back on my heels. Is that right?
It's reversed.
I had a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
However,
so
you've
here-
got the transitions right.
Yeah. Okay, so here,
Here you're towards your toe.
towards the toe. See, I think...
Towards your toe.
Yeah,
Moving towards your heel.
yeah.
Moving towards your toe. Towards your heel. Towards your toe. Stay on the toe as you go. Heel. Going to toe. Heel. Toe.
See, here's the way I think of it.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm down here, I'm closer to my body. I don't know why I think of it this way.
Well,
When
you
I'm
are.
up here,
Now you're bent in, so
my hand is out.
and that's extended out,
Yeah.
right?
And when it's extended out, am I on my toe? Or
No, you're on your heel.
I'm on my heel.
So, and the reason for that is the Yang Chuan, which is the point towards your toe, is where we work on energy rising into the body. It's the most open point on the foot to draw energy up. Shimian at the heel is the most open point to drop energy.
Mhm.
So when
How do I remember that?
you look at the video. Why are we doing the video?
That's right.
So the other way to think of it is that the movements to yin are drawing energy in, and the movements to yang are sending the energy out. So that's what you're doing. I mean, you're absolutely right. Here you're bent in, here you're extended out, here you're bent in, here you're extended out, here you're bent in again.
Okay, so actually when you're bent in, it's normal to
Yeah.
be on towards your toes.
Yes.
Okay, and then as you straighten out,
So when you think about your arm going out here, the energy is going out. Okay? So the energy is also going out your legs, which is why your legs are straightening.
and it's going towards your heels.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, it feels good, yeah.
So that one's pretty easy.
Yeah, yep,
This, the next one, the third one, because the first one is what we've been doing. So we just worked on the second one. The third one has a long transition to here. And so now the problem is that from this point, you are letting yourself bend in a little, because now you're going to go out. And the difficulty here is that you obviously can't go into your S-curve like that. So as this is coming to the fullness of the first half circle around,
so this is where you're starting in your S-curve.
right,
Okay,
you've got to let the arm rotate so it can come up and rotate again at the middle, and then it goes.
got it, yeah,
And it's going to rotate again at the bottom and complete and half circle transition.
okay, let's do it.
Okay, so transition, halfway around, rotating at the bottom, up, rotate, complete. Want to take a break?
No, let's do that one more time and then we'll take a break.
Okay. So, up to the top.
But now, where's our starting going to
This is starting.
be? Okay,
And now you're going to go halfway around, up through the S-curve, and circle the ball. Complete transition.
okay. Every time I hear that word, transition, I get the willies.
You get the willies.
Yeah, I don't, it's from that, where we had to
Yeah.
go from A to B, transition.
Oh, you have to thank Master Joe for that.
Well, then it's good. Okay, so instead of starting at the bottom, we actually start at the top.
Mhm,
And so what we do is we go halfway around
mhm.
and then
Up through the S. Circle the ball. Just remember where you started.
we started
There and back. Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
You have to think about it.
At first you do.
Yes.
And then the fourth one is actually pretty much the same as that one, except that you're
You gotta go around about 4 times before you reach the start point. Is that what you're telling me?
yes, in a way. So you're here, and the transition is to here, and then halfway around through the S, circle the ball.
Yeah, I'm not getting that one. Okay.
It's here. Let me do the left, so I'm doing it with you. So you're going to go to the starting point here.
Okay.
Halfway around is here.
Yep.
Through the S
Okay.
is here,
Yep.
and circle the ball.
And this is
There.
the starting point.
And then transition.
Yeah. Okay. These all make sense.
They do make sense.
Yeah.
They do make sense.
Okay. They're not as far out as I thought they were.
Well, you see,
I mean, you have to pay attention.
yeah.
Yeah, you really do.
So just we're not gonna do this, but let me just explain to you that okay, that's what we did was just start at these points.
Yeah. Oh boy.
You also can start on the diagonals. Okay, that's another 4.
Yeah.
And you can make this point to begin with be here. So so that your basic dynamic sphere actually is here, coming through on the diagonal.
Okay. Yep.
So
Yeah.
you can do them on the, and that just adds, really in effect, 8 more at each point.
Yeah.
It's like an infinite practice.
Yes. Good word, infinite.
Yes, it is. So, but simply keeping it to what we've done
Yeah, I have.
until you're really comfortable with it.
Yeah, I know I have 8.5 by 11 sheets
Good.
of those. I'm almost certain I got them somewhere.
Well, if you need more, I can send them to you.
If you remember, please send them.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have many stacks.
You think you've got stacks?
Oh. Yeah.
Actually, I have stacked everything in my computer now, so
Oh, wow.
I have been working on getting rid of the paper.
See, you're way ahead of your time.
I am?
Yes. I can't get away from paper.
I really like paper. Like whenever, we get an insurance policy or something, Jane just thinks nothing about letting it go somewhere into the ether because she can get it back when she needs it, probably, maybe. Me, I want a hard copy. So
I'm with you.
I do on those things, I do try to get a hard copy. But for all my stuff, because I realized that I'm not going to be printing. I mean, I'm not going to be printing for classes because I'm not going to be teaching a whole lot longer.
No.
So it's stupid to hang on to all that paper. So. I keep it if it's blank on one side and use it when I have to print notes for class. So, but otherwise, I'm trying to begin to really cut down with.
Yeah, I think about that.
We have too much stuff.
Oh, you moved the table over here.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay.
By the way, we're in a new session of this class.
This one?
Yeah.
What did I send you? I sent you.
That was my question. I didn't know whether you sent me the
let
check
me
for
look.
the senior or whether you sent me the check for you sent me a check for the workshop.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I think I sent you, what I didn't send you, I don't think, was a check for the senior. I sent you a check for this. This is what, 220, 240?
Yeah.
Which?
240.
240. Let me look. I'll look when I get home.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do was check.
Yeah, you got my check for the, yeah, okay. I
did.
was afraid I was gonna miss it, so I.
No, actually, I'm not having a lot of sign-ups for it. I hope Rick is. I haven't talked to him. But hopefully we'll have enough to go ahead.
Yeah, I just want a warm-up to work with, because when we did it at that class, boy, I could feel the energy.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of other factors that went into it, but I need something that I can feel the energy, because
Yeah.
most of the time I can't.
Yeah.
Well, I take it back. My hands and up my arm, I can feel that. That's pretty much a given.
The one thing that I noticed just watching you today is to keep working on letting the shoulder relax and the elbow drop. Because if you do this,
You shut it off. Huh?
if you'll do that, the energy flows much more easily because you're not getting in the way. Yeah, let the elbow drop.
Okay.
So you're not trying to draw the pattern with your elbow. Yes, your elbow's drawing the pattern, but if you keep the elbow down, then the energy can flow through much more easily.
Now, can you feel the energy flowing when you're doing this?
Oh yeah.
See, I can't. You know, and of course, this is the way it goes. If I really relax while I'm doing this, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
that's
it's hard
that's a
for
big
me.
point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to when I talk about letting go so often. Because we want to control and do it, make it happen. And that just
I was doing something. I was doing this stuff, and I was throwing my arm around with my body.
yeah.
You know, and it really felt better.
So you want to throw it around with your dantian, not with your chest.
Wow, how do you do that?
Well, let me see if I can can show you. So if you lead with your chest, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
If I lead with my dantian, I'm doing this. Can you feel the difference?
A little.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that'll give you a little something to new to play with.
Sure will.
So so I'm glad I was delighted to hear that you had managed to practice up there in Maine.
Well, I watched that whole video too,
Yeah.
which normally I just keep, because we do talk in it, so I'll go through that. But this
Yeah.
one, I watched the whole thing,
Yeah.
and, well, more than once. And, but
I understand.
I was gonna turn around. You're taking it, you got me.
Well,
Really quick.
Dave didn't want me to mirror.
Yeah, yeah.
So I couldn't do that.
Yeah. How's he doing? He didn't make it today.
No, he's had a 10 o'clock meeting that he had to get to,
Okay.
so he just couldn't make it today, which was fine because it gives us a chance to catch you up.
This is good. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
excellent. Yeah.
So with the 8 gates,
Yep.
do you have any particular places that you like to work on?
I'd like to go through it. You're talking about
Mm.
yeah. I mean, word off right, and then that's the 8 gates, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I hate to tell you, I know I've told you before, I pay zero attention to the names of things, which is terrible, because you mentioned something and I'm saying, oh shit, what the hell is that?
You know, there are, it's really interesting.
Single line, double line.
There are people who never learn the names. There are people who only know the movements by their names. And there are people who only know the movements by the number in the sequence.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see all of those.
Yeah. So, I'm not judgmental about it. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
pretty personal thing. What works,
Whatever works.
whatever
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
I like the names, so
Well, yes, and I should know. I'm getting better. Let me
Yeah.
put it that way.
no big should.
Okay.
So, you're talking about the form, right? That you wanted to look at, going into ward off and
Yeah.
press and push and all of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And you wanted to know about where where yin and yang is in all of that.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I want to learn to tie it into
Yeah.
different stuff.
Well, that's an important element.
Yeah,
I mean,
because I spend too much time making sure everything is in the exact right spot instead of
yeah.
flowing.
Well, you need to do both. Is really the point of all of that. And sometimes you just need to work on, I mean, like, because I couldn't practice for 4 weeks, I'm practically having to relearn the forms. I mean,
Isn't that terrible?
they're in there, and
Of
as soon as I
course, yeah.
get moving, they come back. But
Oh, I'll tell you, you know, just the other day, I went to do the single arm. You know, it pops into my head, different things that you have said.
Mhm.
And then oh, does it fit here, or is that somewhere else, you know? I had trouble with single arm.
It's because of that. Because of that reverse movement, and that shows up. One of the practices that one of the chants again that we will do is actually what we do is we step out to the corner, so we're in a bow stance to the corner, and we're going to do it horizontally. So the first pattern is here. That's easy, because you're shifting instead of rising and sinking.
Yeah.
But if you go around to start here, now what happens is you're at yin, and now you're at yang, and now you're at yin, and now you're at yang, and yin, your starting point, and then you're transitioning back. So
How do you know when you're yin and yang?
intellectually or physically or energetically?
I'm not sure. How do I know if that's yin and yang?
Well, because we have a pattern that has established this. All right? This point is the most yin. So that's our starting point, and it is always the most yin point of what you're doing. This is the most yang. These are just transitions of the energy from one to the other.
Oh, I see the way they are, yeah. Okay.
So, and the same is true here, except we make that first transition here, then we have going to the fullness. And now you have on the other side going back to yin.
Even more basic. I always felt that yang was the stronger, and so I didn't ever really pay too much attention to yin.
That's an error.
Yes. Yes, it is.
No, the yin is a different, you know, one of the ways that I have to say a good way to think about that Bruce suggests is in talking about rollback, which is the most yin of those first 4 postures,
Yeah.
is to think about the yin energy of rollback as being absorption. So this person is coming into you, and you're bringing their energy in so you can send it back out again in an effective way. So I really like that. It's a good way to think about it.
Absorption, yeah.
It also is used for deflection, but the absorption element concept of it, I think, is even more important, because we understand the deflection. That's no
Right.
so. So the form.
Okay.
So if we can just get to our beginning, that there's also yin and yang going on in those first stepping out movements, but
Right.
we'll let go of that for the moment.
Okay.
So here you have a little yin movement, and then it goes to yang. And both arms are involved here. So we have a little yin and then out the yang. And then, remember which form I'm doing. The first step of rollback is actually further out. And then, so in other words, yang, and then in to yin. And yin continues here, and then you have yang as it goes out, comes in, yin again, and yang as you complete that movement of push. And then, of course, yin and yang, yin as you step and position, and then rotate and expand to yang.
Are your hands moving?
Absolutely. They are rotating and expanding away from the body.
Okay.
You're rotating the palms forward.
Yep.
So here is
Yeah.
the movement. And then, actually, this is beginning to be yin. And this is the difficult one, because you're doing yin, 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 and think about those patterns we worked on. And now it's yang, yang, yang. So everything's expanding, but you're sinking. And then yin, bending in, and yang as you extend out. And so that movement is very small. You have a bend in, the hand is bent here. As you go forward, the elbow is expanding, the palm of the right hand is expanding, sending energy through that arm. And then you're bending in and out to yang. So you have yin when you're here, of course, and then out to yang. And then you come right back into yin again, so you're ready to go yin, yang.
I could feel just in my hands
Mm-hmm.
at times.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was, I normally don't feel that. That was good.
Well, when you begin to focus on the energy movement and eventually moving the energy, then then yes, you do feel more.
Yeah. That was good.
Good. I think Moki has stayed here with us the whole class.
I was just thinking, where did the cat go? What's his name? Moki?
Moki.
Mookie?
M-O-K-I, Moki.
Yeah, you Mookie.
And his sister is Mango.
Mango.
And she's a tiger too, except she's marble on her sides.
Is she the same color?
Yeah, very pretty. And very sweet. I'm surprised she didn't come down too. She usually would, but she may have gone to sleep before. It's, as you can see, it's time for the morning nap.
You got a winner.
Oh, they're both really
Yeah.
sweet.
How did you do that?
You know, it was one of those lucky things. The guy who mows
Yeah.
and does some other stuff for us, Travis. I guess Jane mentioned to him that we were thinking about getting cats. We decided we really couldn't handle another dog, but we did want to replace the cats. And he said, "Oh, listen, my neighbor, Lisa, fosters kittens for Protector of Animals." And he said, "I think she's got a couple that she may be ready to find a home for." So we quickly called her and went over and met them, and we were immediately taken. Lisa has two young girls, probably kind of kindergarten age. I don't know that they aren't twins, but they're very close in size. When we arrived there, they were both sitting cross-legged on the couch, and they each had a kitten curled up in their lap. So, and we were really taken by them right away, and so we went through the process. Protector of Animals does a really nice job, and you know, when you get them, they're neutered, have had all their shots, they're checked for everything.
Yeah, see, that's just so important.
And so you really kind of know what you're getting for one thing, which is better than how we got some of our other cats.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, you couldn't want anything better than that. I mean,
no, he's a real sweetheart. So they're both very sweet. Unfortunately, they can be kind of noisy at night, so Jane doesn't like them in bed with her. But because of my issues stemming from my prostate cancer, I have to get up several times a night still. So when we go to sleep, I sleep in another room. Well, the cats playing doesn't bother me that much. So usually for the last 3 or 4 hours of the night, they are like right here. The two of them just clamped up against me. So that's really nice.
Yes.
They're sweet, very sweet. You'll
They
meet
are.
Mango eventually.
Yeah, I'm just, for a kitten, I'm just amazed at how relaxed they are.
It's just, they're 6 weeks, yeah, 6 months. What am I saying?
Yeah.
6 months. They were
How
six
you
months.
doing? Everything okay?
I don't think anything's wrong.
No. Oh, wow.
So-
Oh, fine. That's great.
So that should give you enough to play with.
Yeah, do me one favor.
Sure.
Walk me just through the single arm.
Yeah.
And then, because I always get screwed up near the beginning.
Near the beginning?
Well, let's see.
Not at the. Would you rather be over here, where you have more room?
I was just gonna go down that way.
Why don't you come over here? Then you don't have to worry about the pole.
Oh, all right.
I'm not disturbed by the pole, so. I'm gonna step out and go into a right gongbu. And we start with weight back for the single arm. Then we go up. And going back to yin. And now we have one going to yang and one going to yin. And one going to yang and one going to yin. And now you're going to rotate right and bring the left arm through the S curve. And then go forward, up. And the right arm has to twist there. And be complete.
Okay, keep going.
You want me to keep going? Okay.
Yeah, please.
So transition back. And
Oh, I missed that.
what?
That transition.
So when you get to here,
Yeah,
you need to get back to here.
yeah,
And your weight is forward, so you're going to rotate and shift back. This arm has to come down and rotate to be in position to go up.
okay, let's do that again. This arm is coming down, is it going through an S curve?
No,
It isn't,
not here.
okay,
In this transition, it's going to go on around the ball and rotate the arm.
okay,
And then you're going halfway around, down through the S curve, halfway around, and complete your circle. And start the next one, down through the S curve, turn up, and 7, 8. And the transition is complete the circle, but make that rotate. So there's that rotation that we worked on in the Chants of Jin.
yeah,
you'll see that here and there are bits of the Chansa Jin practices suddenly show up.
Yeah.
What I would say is in watching you, in this whole movement, no, left foot forward. In this whole movement where you're rotating back in one direction and the arm is going to do an S-curve, you have to relax the shoulder and drop the elbow.
Jeez.
It will make it twice as easy. If you let that happen, it's not hard to do it and keep the energy channels open. If you don't do that, then you lock up.
Oh, I could feel it all the way up my arm.
Yeah. It's a great movement. Yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud. See, I'm just so used to tensing up.
Relax.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. You know, I kept after my cardiologist. I said, what's going on? Even when I'm walking, I'm in pain here. And now, what the hell does he know? As it was, I tense up
Yeah.
all the time. So, you know, I hate to tell you, but I'm realizing it more and more, and it doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Son of a gun. That's good.
Thank
you. Good class. Good to see you.
It's good to see you. Hey, do we have a class tomorrow?
No, remember we're on Mondays now.
Oh, okay.
So, you're next week at 11:30.
Okay. on
Jean
Monday.
asked me about that.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I called to see
Yeah.
if you were on your way or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Or not.
And
Yeah.
so I told her,
Good. Then she wrote it down.
yeah.
All right.
Oh,